I just went for a little stroll, and it's cooler today, but it still heated up my body. Whew. And it's Sunday today. It's the Bible Belt Day, and I was thinking, it's the off season now for the Bible Belt's second day of worship, which is football. So I was wondering, how doth the Bible Belt marry? One worshiping with the other worshiping, and I don't know. So maybe if anybody does watch this, they can answer that question for me. Because as far as I know, I don't really watch a whole lot of football, but as far as I know, the football day kicks off at noon. And noon to 3, 3 to 6, and there may even be a late game, I don't know. But, so, I don't know. Anyways, I was also thinking, because I've been to a few churches here, and I've witnessed a few sermons, and they're uninteresting. They're uninteresting because mostly they just seem to go through the motions of, talking about boring Bible verses and stuff, that sort of thing. They're very churchy, as I call them, and that's boring. That's super boring. When I think of a church that is actually interesting to me, I think of clips of like Martin Luther King during the Civil Rights Movement, and him talking about the pressing issues of the day, talking about, goals they're gonna do, and things like, job equality and housing opportunities, and how they want to build opportunities for equal opportunities for his flock or whatever. I got crap on my sock. And how the, unequal job opportunities leads to unequal earning opportunities, which leads to unequal housing opportunities, unequal wealth building opportunities, and how all this kind of just creates downstream effects that, your kids can't get an equal education, and, cross-generational effects and all that stuff. And everybody knows the I Have a Dream speech, but the other component of that is very, very less well known is how he talked about also the emancipation thing. The freeing the slaves was done because it was free, but giving equal job opportunities and equal wages and all that stuff was never done because would cost it would cost taxpayers money. And the 40 acres and a mule or whatever was tried to be done and was quickly taken back, and there is a hole in this sock. Excellent. I need to change my socks and throw this one out. I got plenty of socks. I just need to start weeding out the crappy ones. And so there's that, and that's something that's missing in the churches. They need to talk about these kinds of things in the Bible Belt, and they need to talk about them honestly, because just being like, well, the immigrants are taking your jobs. That's one. Well, it's false, and it's too quick of an answer and too easy of an answer. So, yeah. That leads me into the next thing, which I was thinking. I think the whole thing. How long? 7 minutes. 7 minutes in, and I'm finally getting to the meat. I think the big thing that happened years ago, assuming, of course, which I'm not entirely convinced of, that this Jesus Christ person existed. I think Jesus Christ wasn't. I think Jesus Christ was mainly a social activist. The social activist of his day. And any stuff he said about him being the Son of God was so fantastically blown out of proportion. And it was that little teeny percentage that was taken by the church, and that 2% was taken and magnified to 99.999% and just Trumpified to, let's say it, so that anything else that he did, everybody just forgets about. So that the social activism part of the guy's life was just drowned out in the complete noise of I am the Son of God and stuff. So I think maybe the Son of God stuff was just kind of I'm going to get their attention by saying I'm the Son of God. And the real message is the Roman Empire is a bloated, offensive, opulent regime that is oppressing everyone, and it needs to be either changed or completely upended. And yeah. And so is every empire that's like it. Past, present, and future. And that was basically his message. Again, if the guy ever existed. And so everything he did in his life was towards that goal, and everybody around him did in his life, in their lives, before, during, and after the dude's death, was towards that goal. But because the message the movement lived on after his death for apparently more than a century. The powers that be, the control infrastructure, needed to do something about that, and the best way to do something about that was to latch onto, oh, this guy was saying he was the Son of God. Let's grab onto that and take the fanatical bunch, MAGA, and be like, well, let's create a religion around it. And then once that religion is created, we'll be the center of that religion. And then we can have real control over it, and we can purge all the dissenting elements out of it, right? And once we have the dissenting elements purged, then we will have complete control over the message. And we can make the message whatever we want the message to be. It can be, we can screw all this social activism, union and unity and working for the betterment of everyone, and we can say, and then there you go with all the bullshit of what happened after 3, 4, 580, whatever. And look back in history and find out how it got fucked up. So, yeah, there you go. That is my interpretation of what happened. They took this grand ideal of something that was created by a hippie, essentially, of let's all get together, sing Kumbaya, and build a truly better world other than this shithole that's full of rich, entitled assholes who do nothing for anyone other than themselves and their cadre of closely knit people that are already way too rich, and they just keep making themselves richer and richer. Now let's get rid of all that. And so they took that and they were like, yeah, we don't like that, so we're just going to get rid of that. And they stamped that shit out. And then they built back the same shit that's been going on for I don't know, at that time it was probably like 3,000 or 4,000 years before that. And then they kept that going for another 2,000 years, and here we are in the year 2025, and look what we got going on fucking right now. They are successfully spreading the same bullshit lie again. And they're using modern technology and media to do it and spread it to the same idiot assholes. And now we gotta make America great again. Great again as what? You gotta really think about this shit to yourself. Think. Use the nogginizer and, fucking think, man. Step back for just a minute. I mean, stop believing the shit that the guy in the front of the church is saying. I mean, seriously, stop just going to church, fucking walking in lockstep, and just, and John said blah, blah, blah. Fuck John. You know why? Because you don't know what he said. He's reading a book, man. He might as well be reading any book. Reading a book of Star Wars or a book of Humpty Dumpty or anything. They get away with it by saying it's divinely inspired. I can say my penis is divinely inspired, which it is, ladies, divinely inspired. I'm looking at it and I don't think there's any other way of interpreting it other than damn. But, you're going to have to come and see it for yourself. And I think you'll agree. Um, Beauty. Any other word does not do it justice. And the balls are sheeny. It's a match truly made in heaven. But I digress. Stop believing the bullshit. Walk out of that church, look up in the sky and say, that is something special. Because you just need to start thinking for yourself. Thinking for yourself on Sunday. And you know what you'll get? You know what you'll get? More time to watch football. Yep, that's what you get. It's like a little prize, a little piece of cake for yourself, an extra dessert. Yeah. And you say, I'm not turning from God. I'm turning from the bullcrap of that asshole who has the arrogance to tell me what God thinks. Yeah. Or maybe I'm just bullshitting. I don't know. Spend some time thinking on it. After all, that is what they do in seminary. So maybe, you have a little seminary of yourself. And think on it for a while. And say, maybe every letter of every word in this book is just total bullcrap. Because, when Jesus was walking around, do you think he had a bunch of scribes walking behind him, copying down every fucking word he said? He's walking around and he trips and goes, fuck shit. And the scribes go, and he said, fuck shit. And Jesus turns around, don't write that down, you dumb fucker. Don't write that down, you dumb fucker. Proceed. Because they got that scroll in the Vatican. If you don't think so, ask the Vatican to go into the library. I bet they say no. Only scholars are allowed. Tell them you got a scholarly degree in suck my balls and you need access. Righty then. What else? What other piece of knowledge can I impart to no one? No one that will ever see this. And how many followers did he supposedly have? 5? I don't know. Not including Mary Magdalene. John, Joseph, Jerry, Jose, Jezebel, Jeradine, Jebediah, Ezekiel, Aradine, and, of course, there's Benny. Bye-bye, Benny. then, of course, there's Gary Goldstein. Good old Gary Goldstein. He was such a good companion. He was both a doctor, a lawyer, and he kept track of the traveling party's finances. Very useful man. Very useful. Very useful. Very useful. He was Jesus' cousin. Not the most spry of man, but, very useful. Very useful. He had a peanut allergy, by the way, and, a shellfish allergy. Everything was so dry for him, too. I don't know. Complaining about the dry air and all the sand always got everywhere for him. I don't know. Everybody was almost like, that Gary complains a lot. Jesus was like, yeah, but he's really good with numbers. And he's such a nice guy, He was always so nice, He's just so nice. He was just very complaining, but he was so nice. So it was okay. It was okay to have him. Good old Gary. Gary Goldstein. All right. Gary Goldstein with Jesus the Jew. Walking through the desert, saving you. Okay. Anyways, boobs.